and let her respond. She's going to tell you if it's too high or something that she felt's reasonable or even low. So is 50 to 60 affordable or outrageous? She's going to say that's pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna figure out some face amounts based on that premium, and I'm usually talking to them as I'm writing. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail with that part. The managers can go over that, but so let's say $55 a month gives her whatever amount of coverage. I usually will focus on one because I can nail it pretty good. But I agree with the three, to give them an option. Write down, let's assume you write down 3 rates. I simply slide it over and I say, I'll let you tell me which one's affordable. Shut of the mouth. First one to talk loses at this point. So basically slide it over, I'll let you tell me which one's affordable, and don't talk. I've actually sat there, I was training the guy, and I told him this prior to this point right here, let him answer your question. And I said, the first one to talk is going to buy this policy. I'm either buying that she's not buying or she's buying. So I watched the clock, and this person would not respond. So he really pushed me, or put me to the limit, I guess you could say. But I sat there and I never said a word, and I swear a minute and some odd seconds had went by, and even the gentleman I was training kind of smirked at me like, are you going to talk or not? And he finally said, I'll go with, I think it was around $100 a month or something, but first one to talk buys the policy. So remember, that's technique, or however you want to say it. Okay, and the same thing goes with if I do one premium. I'll let you tell me if that's affordable, slide it over. Usually I can handle that one verbally with them without having to say anything after I show the premium. So if that's affordable. All right. So let's assume they said I can handle the 55, whatever it is. First question out of my mouth is, who's your beneficiary going to be? So Mrs. Jones has decided the $55 is affordable. Who's your beneficiary going to be? It might even be a 7th power question, but done in order, it's a no-brainer. Who's your beneficiary going to be? She's going to tell you. We write that down, secondary beneficiary, and we go through the whole application at that point. We get the address and everything. Flip it over. I make a little mark where she'll need to sign the application. That's my cue to say, Mrs. Jones, I have to collect the $55.82 today. Wait for the response to see how she's going to pay you. I don't use words like get me a check or this is going to draft out your account. None of that stuff's early. I simply say I have to collect the 55. Let her do her thing. See how she does it. Hopefully she gets a checkbook out and everything's dandy. If she gets cash, it's cash out of her pocket or something like that. It's the only time I mention the bank draft early. If she gets cash out, I'm going to say, Mrs. Jones, this is going to be on a bank draft each month. If you want to use your savings account, I can collect that cash. If you're going to use a checking, I got to get a check from you today. Leave it alone. Majority of the time, they just go, okay, and they go get their checkbook. So if it's a savings account, you just nip that in the bud. So let's assume she got her checkbook. I show a business card and I say, this is who you'll make it to. I'm filling out the rest of my paperwork. Sometimes I can see it's Fifth Third account. I'm just filling out the bank draft form. Once I have the check in my possession, I fill that bank draft form out. I make a mark on there where to sign. That's my second cue to say, this is on a bank draft. What's a good day? Keep it simple. This is on a bank draft. What's a good day? Period. And they usually are going to say the 3rd, the 5th, whatever. I don't, you guys, there's so much to that where people are saying this too early, or they're using different verbiage to say we're going to get in your account, we're taking money out of your account. Keep it simple. This is on a bank draft. What's a good day? Okay, and hopefully the 3rd. So the sale's done. We're good to go. At this point, we will do our rapport, if that's what you want to call it, but relax. I used to, when I first started in this, I had a bad habit of rushing out the door with the check, and I think at that point they felt sold and they'd cancel on me. So chill, after the sale, chill out a minute, sit and talk, take a few minutes, after everything's done, and now we're going to focus on referrals. One thing that I came to the conclusion on referrals was when they're answering your first or second question about an experience they had, they were not the only person affected by that. So I always retort back to this to find my referrals. You know, Mrs. Jones, you had mentioned in the beginning, you guys had to bury your husband, and I'm sure you weren't the only one affected by that. Do you happen to know 5 people that might want to go over what we went over today? I'm not asking you for 5 names of people that want to buy insurance today. 5 people you think might be interested in what we talked about. So bringing this back up is a good way to get her mind back on the funeral subject and possibly who was with her or maybe even had to pitch in or help out with her. Good way to get referrals. But one thing with referrals, you guys, it's very simple. Just ask. I've ridden with people lately, as a matter of fact, believe it or not, and 3 houses in a row, I saw an agent never ask for one referral. You guys you're killing yourselves. You know, these leads are expensive anywhere you go. So why not get 3 to 5 more people out of a lead? So just make sure you're asking. It doesn't have to be the technique that I just used. You know, a simple question. Do you know people that might be interested in what we talked about? I think it's a good idea to go back to that because you know that they weren't the only one, but that's it. So let's see, we've done the referrals. You know, make sure you're doing the neighborhood enrollment. Let's hit up some houses around this person that you sold. Even maybe walk the street. I've got some good agents that are very good at that. Again, you know, if you got one lead that you paid good money for, you might as well hit some more people and get more sales out of that particular lead. So I think that sums it up pretty good. Obviously, we can get in a lot more detail about this, but I think you guys watching it, in the field will really help out. Use the questions. Let the client answer you. Be a good listener. Again, listening sells. Listening sells. I can't say that enough. Listening sells, not talking. Use your questions. Let the people respond. They will sell themselves. That's the whole idea behind this. So, I think that's it for now. I want you to know this was brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero. If you guys have questions, call me. Good luck to you.